Hi Aries, and welcome to your Venus love reading. This is for Aries Sun and Aries Venus. Venus is moving into Pisces on the 13th of January, and she will be there till about the 6th or so, and then she will be moving into Aries. So be prepared. Middle of February through the first part of March is Venus in your sign, Aries. Anyways, Mars, the ruler of you, Aries, it just moved into Sagittarius. So this time frame from January 13th to around February 6th is a time of completions because Pisces is 12th house energy and that's where Venus is moving into. So her movement into Pisces is going to, bring things up within you for you to release, to complete. It's like soul completion happening for some of you. And this, could be in existing relationships where there's, some version of the two of you and the way you connect that's going to complete, and you're moving into a new version of yourselves. Some of you could, who are single, you may be meeting somebody, getting into a new relationship more towards the end of this Venus transit. But mainly, this Venus transit is about really getting over the past, healing old wounds, completing a cycle, letting it all go, and moving into new energy. And with Mars in Sagittarius, that's very spiritual. It's higher understanding. It's spiritual understanding. So that is what's going on with Mars and Venus and how it will impact you and your romantic situation. So let's pull some cards. Jealousy, and that's coming out under the Venus energy, and you deserve better, and that's coming out under the Mars energy. So what this means for you is this Venus transit in regards to romance, you're really going to be evaluating yourself or your partner or who you're interested in or who you've really been hung up on. And if you've been struggling with jealousy, everything that causes that, the root of that within you is going to come to the surface, and you're going to understand, because in some situations it may be very unwarranted jealousy, and in other situations, the jealousy is constituted, but you may be deflected or told you're crazy or you're wrong, you're just too suspicious, things along those lines. It will go either way. It's like the truth is going to come to light for you, whatever this jealousy energy is attached to. And this just could be in, different thoughts you have, what it brings up. It could be in an existing situation, but it's time for this to end because you deserve better than what causes this to happen within you, what triggers this emotion within you. You deserve better. And more than that, because over here, Mars energy, you're coming into the understanding of why. And since this is a general read, jealousy, I'm going to encompass with lower vibrational energies like anxiety around a relationship, jealousy, anger, feeling inferior, an imbalance of energy exchange between you and another person. It's like all of that's coming into your awareness, and more than just being brought to your attention, you're understanding the underlying cause of why this is getting triggered within you, whether it's, true external circumstances, or if there's an emotional baggage or wound that still exists within you that causes this, triggers jealousy when there is no real cause. You're jumping at shadows, and you obviously at this moment don't know which is which, but through this Venus transit, it's going to just come to light, and you're going to understand. Also, those of you that have been in the big struggle of trying to get over somebody, trying to let a relationship go, trying to heal from, a lot of abuse or toxic in situations in relationships in general, like this Venus transit is to like really bring you into that higher understanding so that you can heal, release, let go, and move on. So let's pull some more cards. Under Venus, we have boat, receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, closure issues. Yeah, she really wants to help you with that, whether you are single or you are in an existing connection. Next is girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. So you have moving on twice and closure coming through with Venus. And lastly, hand of cards, taking a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, gambling. All right, so, obviously if you're single and you've really been in the struggle of letting a relationship go, moving on, emotional baggage, just everything that is encompassed with that. And sometimes, and we don't realize this, that when we're really angry and we're filled with resentment and a lot of bitterness and just pain and hurt, that's a way of holding on. It's not intentional, but you're still holding on. You're still not over it. And that comes into play more in the residual emotional baggage that remains. But, so when I say still holding on and you're like, I don't want that back, but you still have a lot of emotional baggage and you've been struggling to heal and move on, you still are holding on. It's just not an intentional thing. It's energetic. So Venus and her transit is to bring all of this to light for you, what's holding you back. And those of you in existing relationships, what I do feel is it's almost like you guys are shedding a skin and moving into a new version of a connection, of relationship, of understanding with each other. Somebody I know, her and her boyfriend broke up a month or so back, and now they're just kind of seeing each other. And she was saying, and I was trying to talk to her about the eclipses, and I'm like, well, I'm not surprised, and I'm explaining the astrology. She's like, well, how's it different? We're still seeing each other. I'm like, well, you don't live together anymore. You are a lot happier. You don't feel so oppressed. You guys are experiencing a new version of yourself. And I share that story, Aries, so that you can understand that those of you that are in existing connections is the way that you relate with each other. And it doesn't mean like you guys are breaking up and somebody's got to move out. That was just, to give an example of the energy and how things can shift, but we don't recognize that there is this change that's happened, and that is a new version, a new way of experiencing each other. So those of you in existing relationships, the same things that come up over and over and over again, it's really time to face them and decide, can we heal from this? Can we move on from this? Can we evolve and grow and leave this in the past so that, we can connect more intimately with each other, be vulnerable with each other again, So if that exists, it is time to let that go and, take a leap of faith, have trust in your path, in your journey. And singles, it's like really time to rid yourself of any residual emotions, flames or torches you're carrying for other people. And it's not to say that you could never reconnect with somebody, but Spirit's like, just let that go for now. Leave that in the past for now. It's time for you to move on. It's time for you to have fun. You deserve better than the version of that person and what they're able to give to you right now. Or if you're struggling to heal and forgive, Spirit's really encouraging that and going to bring you into higher understanding so that you can finally let go and move on. Remember, all of this is a choice for us. This is the energy that's being offered. So let's see what Mars has to add. And the chaser actually fell out, and right now Mars is actually chasing Venus, so I like that synchronicity. Chaser in codependent relationship, fear of abandonment issues. This is, remember, Mars is in Sagittarius. It's time to come into the higher understanding. So these are some issues that are going to surface and come to light, and why it's present. Coffin, ending, bring new beginning, growth, change, liberation, transition. So this closure, this moving on is so strong in your reading, Aries. And love call. Someone expresses love, a message of love, thinking of you and letting you know. Oh, that's beautiful, Aries. So Mars in Sagittarius is bringing that higher understanding in your situations, whether you're with somebody or you again, are single, so that you can finally let all of that go. You are coming into the like consciousness expansion, the soul evolution of the different experiences that you've been through. And those of you who are partnered up, it really is time to let the past be the past and see what right now today, what you guys can evolve into and grow into, because there is a lot of love here. And some of you are doing just fine, and with all of this I see a lot of positive energy coming in to your relationship, into your circumstance, and the ending, the completion, the closure might have more to do with external circumstances that don't have so much to do with you and your partner within the relationship itself. And singles, it's time to let the past go. And if you feel like you have to chase somebody and do backflips to get their attention and keep them engaged, it's not worth your time. There needs to be a balance of energy. You deserve better. It's like Mars is bringing you into the understanding of anybody who's not willing to meet you halfway, like most of the time, is not worth your time. You deserve better than that. It's time to end those type of connections and relationships in a romantic sense in your life. If you're dating some people and they just don't treat you and honor you like you are important, like you matter, it's time to let that go. And also, Aries, anybody that you are not truly interested in, you're just, keeping a connection to just in case, or whatever your reasons are, it is time to free yourself from that energy and those connections so that you can rise, that you are evolving through this Pisces transit. And then Venus is moving into your sign, which is going to empower you, make you very alluring, attractive, your energy very magnetic. So Aries, those of you who are single, really let the past go. Ask Spirit, what do I need to do to heal? What do I need to understand here? And feel excited about your romantic future, because it's like a big cycle's ending here. And then again, those of you in these existing connections, I really see you moving into another version of yourself. But because this is a general reading, Aries, if you've been very oppressed in your current relationship and you've been thinking about leaving for a long time, this may be the Venus transit to do so. All right, so let's pull some tarot. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, see, new beginning, new relationship on the horizon for some of you. And those of you in existing connections, this is like the next version of yourself, or those external circumstances improving for you. Ace of Pentacles, that is such a great card to start your reading. And then here we have the King of Wands. That's your energy. You are being very empowered. Next is the Four of Wands, stability, happiness, foundation. Some of you may be moving home. Hanged Man, shift and change in perception. That's really for those of you who have been struggling, to forgive, forget, let go, move on, whether single or in a connection. Your perception is shifting with this Venus transit and Mars being in Sagittarius. Yes, because look at now, you guys have the Sun. Major healing, major understanding, truth coming to light. And you know, Aries, some of you might actually have somebody apologize to you, take ownership, take accountability for themselves, for their actions. They may have a change of heart, change of mind through this transit. And this could be your current partner, or, you know, this could be somebody that you were involved with before. But however this plays out, Aries, Spirit is asking you to open your heart chakra, open your crown chakra, to let all of the light in, to bring truth to the surface within yourself, and then also about your relationships and changes that you need to make, or changes that need to happen within another person. And if they're not willing, then it's better for you to move on. Like, it's this transit feels really about you knowing your worth and your value, and that may have been escaped you for a while, but now it's time for you to remember your true worth and your value, Aries. So let's pull, and I'm telling you, there's some new love coming in. And when the sun moves into your sign, you're going to be on fire. Venus moves into your sign first, but man, when the sun moves into your sign at the end of March, whoo! It's like this Venus transit is shedding everything that needs to go, so you could just have like a brand new you all the way around. Okay, ooh, Aries, yes. This is soul completion. This is the card right here that talks about that. So again, if you're single, it's time for a big shift and change in your romantic department, and that has a lot to do with like letting go, coming into understanding about different relationships and situations of the past, healing the emotional baggage. And you're like at the end of that. Those of you in existing relationships, if you have been thinking like, I want out of this, the time is now, the time has come. But for the rest of you, you know, where there's viability here and love here still, you guys are completing a cycle and moving into a new energy. Oh, Aries, this is so exciting and positive for you guys. So those are your messages regarding love and romance as Venus transits Pisces. I am wishing you guys all the very best. Take care.